Man, The Oval Season 2 has now premiered, and the shit has already hit the roof. Let's talk about it, y'all. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box as well as the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now before I get started, I got some announcements. If you are interested in getting quality health care as well as getting set up for PrEP, there's a form link in the description box in the comment section for Metro Health DC. As my job as a community health worker, my job is to do outreach and to try to get new clients who are interested in getting quality health care as well as getting set up with HIV prevention and PrEP. So if you're in the DMV area and you're looking for health services and as well as being set up with PrEP, click that link in the description box in the comment section, and fill out the application to become a member of Metro Health DC. Also, let me send a special shout out to the GMHC crew. If you're in the DMV area and would like to get tested for HIV, reach out to us at the GMHC crew to get a home testing kit. You can have the kit mailed to you, or you can call and make a same-day appointment and actually come to our location to pick one up. And if you're also if you're interested in getting set up for PrEP, which is HIV prevention, reach out to us at the GMHC crew for that as well. Also, if you're a fan of KRSTV and want to become one of my Black Diamonds, subscribe to my Patreon today, Black Diamonds, because in darkness we still shine. For $5 a month, you get all of my YouTube content, as well as videos that will be just for the Black Diamonds that will not appear on YouTube. So check out my Patreon. And also check out my YouTube partner BK World 2, which is the Black Netflix. You get shows like the one I'm reviewing today, The Oval, as well as the Haves and the Have-Nots. So after this video, check out my description box and comment section for the link for BK World 2 to check them out today. Now this is The Oval Season 2 Episode 1, and the name of this episode is A Little Girl Talk. Man, this episode did not disappoint. Tyler Perry is doing big things with this show, and I am so happy that The Oval is back because so much went down that it was crazy. And I'm not going to tell it like the way it played out, but I'm definitely going to talk about everything, and if I miss anything, just put it down in the comments. So first, I'm going to talk about damn Barry and Ruth. You saw from the season finale, Barry caught her and literally forced her into his car to go to the police station. And for the life of me, I don't know why Barry think this was a good idea, because this shit did not play well, as we all expected. Because here he is bringing in Ruth. Ruth is screaming at the top of her lungs. They get an attention of an officer. The officer is already looking at Barry with those judgmental, eyes, because Barry is very aggressive and he's angry. And Barry is trying to say that she took my daughter, and the officer is like, and then Ruth is pretty much saying that he kidnapped me and he brought me here against my will and all of that. So when the officer's trying to talk to Ruth and Barry keeps interjecting, the officer just keeps on being aggressive to Barry. And I'm like, Barry, you know that these police completely profile us as black men, and yet you're giving them more and more reason to think you're the suspect. Even though Barry is the victim in this situation, the way he's being portrayed is that he's being overly aggressive, and for the fact that he brought Ruth there against her will. And that's exactly what Ruth did with her evil ass. She literally played the victim. He brought me here against my will, and he asked Barry, did you bring her here against her will? And he was like, yeah. And then the officer was like, that's kidnapping, and they arrest Barry. And then all of a sudden Ruth is like, I want to press charges. And Barry's like, what you mean press charges? You're the one that kidnapped our daughter. You're the one that should be getting arrested. You're the one who took the child from me, and I have custody. And Barry's just going off, and here again, they lock Barry up. And did you see how Ruth, with her smug ass, literally glide outside of the police station like she was in a damn beauty pageant? I'm like, this evil bitch. I'm like, wow. But I'm like, Barry, your father and Sam warned you. You were out of warnings. You no longer have any get out of jail free cards, bruh. So you now going to have to roll doubles to get out of jail. And from the looks of things, your luck may not be too great. So that's what happened with him. Now I'm going to talk about Richard and Nancy. Nancy is still trying to play Susie Homemaker after all the shit she did where Richard just found out that Picky was her son and that she had an affair, and yet she still won't tell him who the damn daddy is. Richard saw her up in there while she trying to make dinner, trying to be Susie Homemaker. He's telling her to get the hell out, and she's like, I'm not leaving you. This is my house too. And like, Richard just ain't here for it. She's saying, I'm sorry. He's like, keep your damn sorries. I don't give a damn about you being sorry. I want you out of here. And she's like, I'm not leaving you, and like, Richard is to the point where he's getting really aggressive. Like, he is not here for Nancy at this point. And I completely understand why, because Nancy's full of shit. And Nancy still won't tell him who the daddy is. So he decided to pull some wild cards out of his pocket. Told Nancy, I canceled all your credit cards. And I took all the money out of the bank. And you might want to call that funeral home, about that check you wrote them, because it's about to bounce. And she's like, Richard, why would you do that? They're not going to bury him without that money. He was like, then get it from his daddy. I was like, hey, I, for one, am not mad, because Nancy, you brought this shit on yourself. And he told you he was going to make your life hell. This is just the beginning, Nancy. You ain't really felt hell yet, because Richard is at that point where he's broken. See, this is the type of shit that happens when you mess over good people. See, a lot of times a person becomes bad because somebody did something bad to them. See, it's kind of shit that Nancy pulled is what makes a good person go bad. And now Richard is just lost all his scruples, and he don't give a shit about hurting Nancy at this point, because she hurt him to the core. Next, I'm going to talk about Bobby and Lilly. They finally arrive at the cabin that he told her that he had, and they go back and forth, and she's like saying, can I trust you, Bobby? And he's like, yeah, you can trust me. And he's like, I know this is not what you're used to. And she was like, please, you forget I grew up in Watts. I've been on camping trips before. This is cool. It is what it is. But yeah, so we see that, yeah, he's finally got her into this safe space. She's still nervous because she didn't tell Bobby everything. He just thinks it's just about leaving Donald. But remember, she overheard Donald and Kyle talking about, the president possibly could have killed Ruth. I mean, not Ruth, but Denise, Ruth's twin. So she's kind of like really amped up, and she just keeps questioning Bobby, and Bobby's letting her know, like, baby, I got you. I made sure they didn't follow us. We got rid of the other track phone, and you got another track phone. They have no idea you're here. So we got that going on. Now I'm going to talk about some of the crazy shit. Now y'all remember from the last episode, from the finale, when Priscilla approached Sam and Sam gave her eggplant. Oh, they continued from that, man. Priscilla was mad as hell. Yo, and shout out to Tasha Simpson, who plays Priscilla. Sweetheart, you did some damn good acting in this scene, because she was mad as shit. She's telling him, pull your pants down. Pull your pants down. If you ain't do nothing, pull your damn pants down. Why you still hard, bro? Pull your pants down. What's going on? And boy, if you smell like that, bitch, ooh, I mean, she was hot. And then she was saying and then she said, then she sniffed him. She's like, I can smell her on you. You know what? I'm gonna fuck her up, and I'm gonna poison him, and I'm gonna poison her. And he's trying to calm her down. He's like, girl, you realize you're at the White House? She's like, yeah, I know exactly where the fuck we at. I'm gonna fuck her up. Like, and she is just mad as hell. And then we see Laura come in, because the episode opens. Remember, Laura saw Jean stuffed under Jason's bed, and she's literally having heart palpitations. She's literally going into cardiac arrest. She comes into the kitchen, and they end up calling, the medics. So they still don't know that Jean is under that bed yet. But clearly, that's gonna happen once they figure things out. But because they was trying to ask her what happened, and Laura couldn't even say anything because she was just in shock. And then all of a sudden, after they wheel out Laura, here come Victoria in with her negligee, early in the day. And Priscilla was giving her the evil stare, y'all. Like, Priscilla was looking like, I am going to kill you, bitch. She was giving that straight look. And then Victoria, with her trifling thought ass, literally is kind of rubbing it in Priscilla's face. And was like, because Priscilla was like, it's kind of early for you to be in your negligee, isn't it? And she's like, oh, I just had a hot bath, And like, you can just see that damn Priscilla is not here for it. And then, Priscilla is trying to send Sam away, and Victoria's like, yeah, Sam, you can excuse yourself. Me and her need to have a little girl talk. I'm like, oh, for real? Like, Victoria, you are foul and trifling as shit. You know that this is a married man and know that his wife works in the White House, and you still gonna pull this stunt. Like, seriously, I see where Jason gets that shit from. You want what you want, and you're willing to take it. Like, cause Victoria definitely has, a rape mentality, cause you saw her do this shit with Max, and now she trying to do this shit, with Sam. And you can just see that Priscilla, literally, tears are rolling down her face, because she is so damn mad that she really wants to box Victoria. But because of her job, she can't. Like, that has to be tough. That she literally is fighting not to whoop Victoria's ass. And she would be right. She would be in the right if she did, because Victoria is hella disrespectful, and she's crossing the line. Like, big time. And then she walks out like, oh, and I'll have tea in the hall. And I was just like, ooh, that bitch is a mess. Oh, yes, I'm going to talk about... So then, we see on the news, they're reporting about, the shooting of Max and Puma. We find out that Puma died, sweetheart, like, so messed up, but Max actually survived. And Victoria and Hunter are watching it on the news. We see that Donald comes into the Oval with Hunter, and pretty much they start going back and forth. And Hunter's like, so you took care of it, huh? And he was like, yeah, Cal took care of it. And then, like, and if anything, your new girl also took care of it too, as far as the press, because, you know, she gave up Diane's medical records. You know, Diane can be vicious, you know, but your girl went even lower. And then Hunter was like, well, Diane is your problem, Donald. And he's like, look, you need to stay on top of this. And he says that bitch is your problem. And then, like, Donald starts getting real smug and was like, what bitch are you referring to exactly? Oh, and then, like, you know, Hunter starts going off with his arrogant ass, like, if you don't stop fucking with me, call me sir again. I'll make sure I'll fire you for real this time. And then all of a sudden, Victoria walks in. Victoria's pissed. She's asking about what the hell's going on. At first, damn, Donald's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, you know what? Don't play with me like you do with that little penis of yours. And he finally tells her that it's Agent Max and Agent Yuma. They were having an affair with Denise, and then, you know, a shootout broke out because of it. And then immediately, that damn Victoria's on it. She's like, you two are the biggest fuck-ups I've ever met. What about Max? Max is still alive. What if he starts talking? And then Donald's like, oh no, I know that he's dead. I have a person that was on it to know that he's dead. It's on the news. He's alive. So we're gonna have a serious problem here. And then he just pretty much he sends Donald to go get Kyle, and you know he gonna do that because that's probably the reason why he's feeling confident, because he probably got some of that cow cake on the late night. He was really feeling himself on the season finale, so we see why he was feeling himself, because he got some of Kyle last night. Nasty bitch. And then after he leaves, Victoria and Hunter go back and forth, and she was like, you are so cold-blooded. That man has been with us for 8 years, and it's like you don't even give a damn. And he was like, look, it was a business decision. And he says, besides, I don't know why you care. What, you want to fuck him too? And I was like, yeah, she tried. Access denied. That's what went down with that. So then we get a scene with Diane and Priscilla. We come to find out that Diane is actually friends with Priscilla and Sam. And we can see that Priscilla is very distraught after that whole situation between Sam and Victoria. You know, when she left, she didn't even speak to Sam, and he's like, "Oh, we'll talk when we get home." Like, nah, bruh, you might want to make sure you have a bulletproof vest and make sure you have some gear before you go in there, because she probably might throw knives at your ass. She that pissed. And Diane, and we see that Diane and Priscilla start talking, and she lets Priscilla know that I may not be alive too long, because she tells her she went into the press room and she told everything. And she's like, well, what did you say? And like, Diana's like, no, I can't talk about it here. But then she asks Priscilla about Max and Yuma, and she says they're good people. And then she tells her that Yuma was killed, but Max, I gotta get to him before they end my clearance, you know, because he's in danger. And she told Priscilla that you and Sam are the only ones I trust. And she's like, well, what's going on? She's like, I can't talk about it here. Let me come to your house. But and she's like, sure, I'm on my way there now. She's like, okay, well, but before I get there, I'm gonna go to the hospital and try to throw my weight around and see what I can work out. And we see that she ends up calling Bobby, and she tells Bobby, I need a favor, and you know, there's an agent that I need to get out of this hospital because he's not safe, but he has enough to take down this whole administration. So Bobby pretty much, you know, leaves Lilly, but make sure Lilly has a gun. He says, I know you know how to use this. And then that's when Lilly confesses that she overheard that the president probably killed someone. So he says that, damn, you really are in danger. I thought it was just a divorce thing, but yeah, they really ain't trying to let you live now. So he already now knows that her level of security has now went to the extreme. Because you done heard some private shit. So yeah, they ain't gonna rest until they try to kill Lilly. Like, on some real. So then, we see that Diane goes in there and talks to the doctor. We come to find out that Max not only had a bulletproof vest on, but he also had a metal shield under it, and some of the metal fragments is what got into him. So Diane was like, "Wow, he really knew he was in danger to be wearing all that." But she goes in there and she tries to talk to Max. Max is unconscious, and she says, you know, she knows that he's being set up, that you had no involvement with that girl, and I'm gonna try to get you safe. So we saw that go down. Next, I'm gonna talk about damn Sharon and Kareem. Yes, and shout out to Tisha Renee who plays Sharon. I actually text her on Twitter, you know, about the episode, and I was like, yeah, I'm Team Sharon, because Kareem really gets on my nerves, and this whole scene just made me totally even more disgusted with Kareem, because Kareem is a piece of shit. Because here it is, he's happy that they got upgrades because they got an insurance payout because the store was vandalized, and pretty much Sharon is just over it. She's like, look, I don't need no drama with you today. And he's like, well, that's funny, drama's your MO that now that you're with Barry. I'm like, nigga, let it go. She don't love you, bruh. Stop. And then, you know, he was like, but I just want to apologize. I'm sorry. And she's like, for what? He's like, because I was an asshole. I'm like, no, motherfucker. You're being yourself. You are an asshole. And this whole scene proved it, because, and he's like, I'm just wondering, why would she stay with him? Because he really think he better than Barry. But he's not. You're not better than Barry at all. Asshole. That's what I'm saying. He an asshole because he think he better than Barry, and in his mind he's like, how you gonna choose this chicken dinner over me? And I'm like, but Barry's not a chicken dinner. Have you seen Barry? Sit down, Kareem. I mean, Kareem ain't bad looking at all, but his whole attitude and demeanor makes him ugly as shit. So all of a sudden he says that I've been noticing you. You know, you're sitting around a lot. You know, I've been working around here since I was a kid, and I always can tell when a woman has been is in aisle 3. Pretty much, you know, if you want, I'll pay for it. So he thinks Sharon is pregnant. And pretty much he was like, you know, well, and then all of a sudden she's like, you know what? You know, don't even sweat it, because even if I was, it ain't yours. We ain't really, not too much time has passed as far as me and you. And he's like, you know, I would want it to be my kid and not his. And she's like, you already have a kid. He's like, yeah, but not with the woman that I love. I'm like, oh, this dude is doing the most. Seriously. And then pretty much she suggests, like, look, I think you need to hire someone else. And he was like, why? He says, because we need somebody up in here so me and you won't continue to be doing this shit. It's getting old. So he's like, okay, fine. Well, you know, you can work in the front and I'll work in the back. And she's like, but I can go and help you with us. He's like, no, it's fine. You can work in the front. I'm like, you are such a petty little bitch. Oh, Kareem gets on my nerves. But then we saw that Sharon does go to aisle 3 and she gets a pregnancy test and she puts it in her pocket. So, is Sharon pregnant? I guess in time we'll find that out. Alright. So we talked about that. Now I'm going to talk about Maude and the grandkids on the damn plane. And then all of a sudden, we see that first we get a scene with Maud and Gail, and you know Gail is talking out her ass, being all kind of disrespectful, and she's like, she's like, I can really make your life difficult. And then Gail was like, what the hell you mean? She's like, language. Oh, what the hell do you mean? And she says, besides, what more harm can you already do? I mean, hell, I'm already living in a prison. She was like, prison? I'll show you prison. When this plane lands, I've given them specific instructions on what to do with you. I know how to deal with your type. And then she noticed that Gail had a recorder on her, and she's like, oh. So, you think that recorder's gonna save you, my dear? Oh my god, I just love how Maud talks. She just be giving me Eartha Kitt tease, and she's just so vicious with it. She was like, trust me, darling. I will get you in line. And Gail was like, please, get me in line. You need to get that loser in the bathroom in line. And she's like, what are you trying to say? It's like, what do you think he's been doing in there all this time? Yeah, okay. Like, Gail is so Gail gets that damn attitude from her mother. As a matter of fact, both worst qualities I think they get from Victoria more than they do from Hunter. Hunter got his shit too, because Hunter's arrogant, so they get their arrogance and that nastiness from both parents. But they get more of the bad shit from their mom than they do from Hunter. That's my analysis. If y'all disagree, put it down in the comments and let me know if y'all think otherwise. But yeah. So then all of a sudden, by the time Jason comes out the bathroom, it's dark. So he was literally in there for about a few hours. You know, whacking the monkey, you know, shaving the carrot, playing with the purple-headed yogurt slinger, whatever you want to call it. It has many names. So she was like, Ma was like, you've been there for a long time. And he says that he was constipated. And she says, if I find out that you were in there doing something perverted, you're going to be in big trouble. And he's like, no, it's just that my stomach is in knots. He's like, I need to go back and clean my room. And she's like, what is it? What is it? And he's like, I left something. I need to go back. And then he starts getting aggressive and like stands up, and his grandma like, I said I need to go back. She's like, sit down, boy. And he says, if I open the emergency window, they will have to land this plane. And then we see that it does kind of shake up Maud a bit. And he was like, the demon trembles. And she says, no, darling, I'm not afraid of you. You're not going back. You have a problem, and I know a doctor that can help you. And she's like, you know what? Your mother must have been on something when she had you. And then he was like, you know what? I think we're going to have an emergency landing. And this plane will land. You bitch. You stupid bitch. And I'm like, damn. I mean, regardless of the fact that she evil as hell, that's still your grandma, bruh. Like, seriously? Them kids have no fucking respect. No morals or anything. And then she was like, you know what? When this plane lands, I am going to get you committed immediately. Then he was saying, then also he started saying she was sweet and beautiful. And I killed her. And it should have been you. And then the next thing you know, he lunges, you know, and starts choking his grandmother. And that's where it ended. I'm like, oh, that damn Jason is a serial killer from hell, boy. And it's like, Lily's words were right. Serial killers start off as perverts. He's perverted, and now he killing people. I mean, he done already got 2 dead bodies on his list. Grandma might be number 3. We just have to wait and see what goes down next week. So if I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.